Alright, welcome in everybody, welcome in. It's race number 8 here. ISRC Truck Series season here at Auto Club. Coming off a tough race at, I don't even fucking remember what truck we were at last week. We finished like 17th though, so looking for a little bit better result. Oh, Nashville, that's right. So looking for a better result here. Auto Club's one of my more favorite tracks to race at in the truck, so it's gonna be a lot of drafting. That's all it's gonna be, and hopefully saving some tire too come into play. Hopefully we get a long run, but you know, you never know. Let's see here. Here we go. But we got 105 laps around here. We're giving us 4 sets of tires in the pits, it looks like. So no stages per usual, so that's good. But what's up, Jesse?
Hey.
But a little bit longer than we normally go here. I think last time we were here it was only like a 90 lap race, so I think. I don't remember. '19th. Damn, man.
That's the end of the session. P19.
Top 20. Let's see, we got 29 people here. 5-minute warm up.
All right, folks, welcome to Auto Club. It is the Rubble 200. We're at the track that's mostly rubble now. That's why it's called the Rubble 200. We're going to have 105 laps around this amazing racetrack. If need be, we'll have 2 attempts of the green light checkered. The initial start will be on green. Any restarts following will be on the leader within the Geico restart zone. If they do not initiate this restart within that zone, then green flag restarts the race. The incident limits will be 24x will be DQ, no fast repair, 4 additional sets of tires. Please remember to stay to the right on pit road when entering to avoid any potential incidents or penalties. During green flag stops, try your best to stay to the right.
The track
Even if
temperature is
you're alone
decreasing.
or
It's
one or
now
two
97
out there,
Fahrenheit.
so it still can impede somebody's vision behind you. So just stay to the right as best you can. No change in lanes before the start-finish line on the restarts or initial start, unless you're avoiding an potential accident in front of you. For yellow flags, like always, we're going to heavily rely on iRacing for yellow flags, so no yellows for 1 or 2 trucks spun down in the grass or way off the racing surface. But if we see something on the racing surface that we deem to be needing a yellow flag and iRacing doesn't throw it, then we will throw it. Let's have a good race tonight. Hopefully we get some green flag stops, see some crazy strategies out there. Yeah, so let's try to keep it nice and clean. I think last season or season before at Michigan we had a whale of a race with many yellows. Let's try to keep it nice and clean and green as possible.
The leader's just done a
yeah,
41.37.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
And Mama Fonseca is getting it extra hard tonight because all he wants to have a smart mouth.
Oh, yeah?
Fastest lap for Taylor, 41.18. The leader has just done a 41.06.
Alright. We're sitting 19th in the points right now. There's only a few more races left till the playoffs start. So I think it's top 12 make it, so we're gonna need some help. We're gonna need some good stretch of races here, but we'll see what happens, you know. It is what it is. Just try to have some fun the rest of the way. Last couple seasons have not really gone the way we wanted, that's for sure, in this league, so. But we'll try our best here. Come away with a decent finish, hopefully. I feel like we can get a top 10 here. But we'll see what happens. About 30 seconds till we grid up. Which, you know, how these races go, anything can happen, so. Alright. 105 big ones around here. Go ahead and get the broadcast rolling
90
in the background
seconds.
here.
Garcia, his teammate from Elwood Designs Esports team, going to be the
Be
machine
sure
of
to
Alan
follow
Elwood, who is
Freakcast broadcasting
outside.
on YouTube as
Our
well.
last week's winner
That's
of
the
Nick
broadcast
Crawford
hearing in
will
the
be starting
background.
in third with Cody Reed in fourth place. Driver
yeah,
found
we're
himself in victory lane
rolling
here
off
in the
here.
past back
About to
in
roll
season
off.
4. It's the 8 of
It's a good
Noah
clean
Steele.
race. Hopefully it's not too
Looking
many
to make his
cautions,
push
but
if he wants
never
to
know.
make the chase. It might have to be a win here this evening. It's starting in 6th position. It's the 77 of Malik. Then in 7th, one of the
60
fastest drivers from
seconds.
practice. Translate for pole time for qualifying, but still top 10. It's the 99 of Michael Miller. In 8th, the driver who's been finding great consistency this year in these last few races. It's the 19 of Tyler
So,
Taylor.
Logan,
Driver
and
of
Trent,
watching for a
is once again that
push.
time of the
It's
week where I
Trent
ask the
Talmadge starting
question.
in 9th, and Justin Smith in the 45, top 10 qualifying time for that
I don't think so tonight.
Starting at 11th, it's going to be our points leader, the 15
Yeah, we
truck
ate
of
before
Vincent
the
Sorrell.
race.
Alongside him in 12th, it's going to be the
30
16th.
Oh, what'd you have
Francisco
before the
Canada. Starting in 13th, but going to the back with that penalty.
Mystery
like Sam
meat,
says,
right.
24 of Ali Fonseca. 14th is going to go
Yeah,
to the
I
46
think
at
it was
Trenton Jump.
4.
With second in points, man, Thomas Green
That
starting
was my
back here
nickname
at
in high
15th.
school. Minus the right.
16th is going to be Ethan Smith after
Bruh.
a good run last week.
Mystery
17th
meter,
is
Tori.
going to go to Eric Stanley. 18th is going to be Jesse
10
Thorne.
seconds.
19th is
Yeah,
going to
pick
be
one.
the 5 of Dakota Moniz. And rounding out the top 20 is
Oh,
the 91 of Harper House.
The track temp is 95 Fahrenheit. The air temp is
Hell
79.
no.
105
Going to
laps.
be the 50 machine.
Hi.
of Samuel Garcia.
All right, good luck, boys.
Ryan Ferraro, my pick. He'll
Good,
start
bud.
the
Right.
field in 23rd position.
I was looking at
Logan
Michael
Brady will
Miller
be starting
next
in
to me,
21st.
actually.
Logan also
I'm surprised
right
with
on
all
that
of us.
cusp of trying to make the chase. He's 16th in points starting here tonight, but he'll be starting 24th.
It's gonna be an interesting race. Gotta stay patient for sure.
All the way down in 25th position. We know he should be making that climb.
Proud of all of us.
It's gonna be the two, Danny Cochran in
Yep.
26th.
Can't wait for Cody to wreck
Start
Paul.
27th, 28th. Is
Loose through turn one on first lap.
Car number 53 in the inside lane.
Yeah, and it just seems like it was getting super tight on me. Is that what you guys are feeling, or?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, it gets tight.
Miles per hour.
Yeah, maybe it gets loose after a long run. I don't know.
2 miles in distance. But what are the major factors these drivers are watching out for here this evening?
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
You know, you brought it up a little
Be a
bit.
lot of
in the
drafting
pre-race,
too early, so.
Tire wear is
Yeah.
a huge factor here compared to a lot of the other sister tracks of this place. You know, a lot of those tracks, you really don't have to
All right, well,
manage
appreciate
too
y'all
much.
tuning
You
in.
have to manage a little bit here, but you can't give up too much because track position is everything.
watching on
So it's
TikTok,
a little
YouTube,
bit of
Twitch.
both. You gotta really push the
Got 105
trip
laps
while
here.
also not
About to go
tires
green, see what we
over
can
this
do here.
old, worn-out Humvee surface. So it's going to be quite
Race
the
number
task,
8
but
of
once this
I think
green
it's
flag
18
drops, you're going to see some
total
big
races
moves being
we'll see,
made
so.
from top to bottom.
We also want to say thank you to Morecast, Larry Productions, the Armadillo Motorsports team for being the lucky
Pace cars in.
award, Gridless Graphics for being our white flag provider,
Okay,
and also
Dakota,
for
get
being our
ready.
camera provider, Whiplash Simcams, for also being our biggest mover award.
Green, green,
The
green.
drivers up front, they're ready, they're set. It's Nico Garcia, Alan Elwood, ready for the Rubble 200 here at Auto Club. Green flag is out of the air, and here we go down into turn number
Outside.
1. It's the drag race, get up to speed.
Jeez.
Still there.
Slow into one here.
Stay tuned down into turn number 1. Looks like up front, it's all Garcia, but at top rope, it's going to be the 25.
Car high.
Cody Reed, take that first attempt to the wall.
Still there.
Definitely drivers going to be willing to go all the way
Hold
to
your
that
line.
wall here.
Clear outside.
They're going to be trying to get to each other's right rears and take advantage. But already off the start is Garcia, Elwood down the back straightaway working together. Is now the 25 Reed. He's going to find that momentum from that top side.
High side.
Look out there for a moment. As now he's going to try to use this
Still
outside.
Made it
rear.
to lap 1.
Maybe trying to power to the force outside is now.
Still there.
I'd like to get to the
Elwood's got
top.
Doesn't want to fight to the inside of his teammate.
Hold your line. Clear outside.
C20.
And you're seeing it here.
Car outside.
Run, but it's Garcia with the bump drafting help from Cody
Still
Reed.
there.
And allows the 78 to lead lap number
Hold your line.
1. Cody Reed trying to get that outside corner.
Still there.
Already deeper in.
About to get freight train on the outside.
Outside. Green.
Car number 55.
Yep, I'm right behind you.
Up front, it's Cody
your line.
Reed. He does get side by side for the lead position. Cody's got the
Car high.
space. He's got the position. Now he's hoping to lead this
Still
lap.
there.
That outside line is always
Still
the
there.
better positioning to be in when you're
Still there.
battling. You just have so much more advantage by
Clear
letting
high.
that
Car
truck
outside.
carry all the momentum out
It's
towards
just
that
done
wall.
40.80 in 24. The guy in front has just done a 41.08.
Already
The guy
using
behind
that
has
to
just
full
done a
advantage, takes the lead here early.
41.13.
You can see it right there in the middle of the back.
Hold
It's
your
3
line.
wide, 2 rows deep.
Still there.
He's on the outside of me.
Hold your line. You're outside and clear.
Jeez, dude, we lost way too many damn spots right there.
Big passes have to be made sooner than later. These tires will fade away. It's going to be tough to make passes. I was talking to the field. They were saying about the first 8 laps is when it's the most critical to make passes to move forward. After that, you're kind of stuck where you're at the moment, and that's why
Okay,
we're seeing these
Dakota, the
drivers
next car
willing
is
to get to the
Smith,
top
car
and make all
number
these
7.
big moves
Their
early
rating
on.
is 1.5. B25.
Tires early on here to try to get the track position and then just try to hold station. This
Careful.
is what these drivers are going to try to use. There's some contact there. That's Rubble, the 99 of Michael Miller, and the 3 of Thomas Green is now down.
That's gonna scatter the field a bit.
The steal.
Steele
That was
bounces
great.
to the outside and keeps it off the wall. That's the most impressive moment for the 8 machine early on the first 4 laps. His night's not over yet, but that contact with Michael Miller really going to be rattling and shaking up the 8 machine that was having a great start here tonight, but just showing how narrow this
Car high.
course can get. And if the tires fade away early from
Hold your line.
inside, how dangerous it is to race the field.
Hold your line.
Still
there.
Yeah.
41.47
On the high side.
24th position now.
Still there.
And it gets even tougher back here because it's just going to be
Still there.
The stack up as you can see ahead of him. All the drivers
Hold that
out,
line.
you know, preferably they want to run the
Still
track,
there.
but they're going to be fighting from the outside of each other.
Clear outside.
How much of an advantage
Reed
is. So it is very much a cage.
There's a car on the outside.
You can see the switching lanes up
Still there.
and it's very bumpy too. So it can cause
Hold your line.
switch lanes there for that truck to get very upset.
Still there.
Oh, goodness.
Still there.
That's where everyone is in the top 10.
Hold your line.
Trying to stay low.
You're down low, 3 wide.
B26. His last lap time was at 41.69.
He's
still there.
Here at the club and also
Car high.
this week. Crawford trying to carry some momentum for
Hold your line.
Also, was one of the decisions yesterday.
Still there. You're clear outside.
Tire wear scenario of taking advantage of Chris Nick Crawford. What strategy?
Dude, we're just
Car inside.
dropping like a rock right now, man. What the
Still
fuck?
there.
The captain on 27 behind is now 0.05.
Looks like clear.
It's been very much all types of strategies we've seen from Nick Crawford, and you know when he finally kind of stuck to a little bit more trying to do it, really worked it out for him. So we'll see how he plays it out tonight, but definitely some shuffle.
That was at
back here a little bit farther.
41.69.
Danny Cochran, he's continuing to fight his way forward, so this is important for the two machine. We saw he was tied with Samuel Garcia coming in here tonight. Garcia runs in 20th, Danny Cochran in 16th.
Is right in front of the two also as he's trying to make this pass by Browns to the 91. Another driver that's moved
Car
up
inside.
a lot of positions. That's the 42. Joshua
Hold your line.
the Snowfall Brown crew.
Hey, Josh.
Fans
Still there.
out there already up 12
Hey.
positions.
Car on the
Already
left
started.
side.
Danny Cochran up 11, and those are the
Still
two
there.
biggest movers
Hit that time
so
again.
far in the first 7 laps
Still
of
there.
tonight's racing. That's
Sure, a
pretty
lot of people
impressive
are.
7 laps and
Still
already
there.
gaining over double digits per
Hold your line.
B28. That was
Definitely
at
a great job.
42.00.
Like you said, earlier said, you gotta get it done when you can. Really, it's not gonna be easier as the run goes on. It's gonna get a little bit more difficult even as they get strung out. So get the passes while there.
There's like nowhere to fucking go,
Did a
bro.
great job. Is now watching for the 42 here of Stone. We'll see what he can do. He's worked his way
is now leading.
to this 13th position.
Car
after
outside.
starting 25th, so really climbing his way, like you said, too. You know,
Clear high. Car high.
positions and
High side's clear.
Well, this race is a struggle.
Car high.
pushing too aggressively to
Bro, I don't know. I can't get nothing. I'm back to last,
Still
bro.
Damn. Still there.
You're on your last.
Hold your line.
Feels like tonight could be just a change of momentum.
Hold your line. I was plowing forward, and then still there. Checkup happened. I just lost a bunch of spots, and Hold your I just line.
Oh,
leveled out.
They're side by side forward.
High side's clear.
Also looks like Garcia trying to build a little momentum to attempt to get by Cody.
Oh, it's gonna be a long fucking race at this rate, dude.
Try the inside. Will this slide job work? Does Cody Reed keep his foot in the throttle? And it looks like for the 25, he backs off slightly, but also blinking. That's a worry to have as Reed
The next
throttles
car
up
is
to the end
Shell,
of the
car
corner.
number 98.
It's
Their
always a
rating
very
is
tricky
5.1.
situation when you have that truck on the outside blinking because, you know, if he blinks out and you think for a moment, man, I can slide up the racetrack, and then all of a sudden he comes back, into your peripheral and he's, in your door. So it is a situation where you kind of want to know where they're at, but unfortunately for me, he cannot control that. So we'll see how they can battle here off of 2 because I don't think the 25 is going to want to give up this clean air. I think it's very valuable for not only its tire wear, but just the control.
Okay, to contact the next car is car number 97. Their rating is 2.0.
Really mess with iRacing's spotter system. It can sometimes tell you when you're clear, and sad with how important it is to carry the momentum and speed for these straightaways. If you're being told you're clear to the outside, you might send yourself to the wall, and there could be a driver that just blinks and appears right there.
Oh, no doubt. Sometimes
That time
you
was
get the clear call, and
41.90.
you are immediately letting the wheel out to, let the truck up the track to clear that truck and make sure they don't have any opportunity to roll back around the outside at any moment to get the right rear. So I think Garcia going to get it done here too. He's going to slide up firm and get it done, and really not even have to worry about too much.
This is insane, dude.
That might open up his right rear. Now he's going to
Apparently I got no pace auto club, boys and girls.
there as it stacks up right on the entry most of the time up front.
As they stack up, driver behind to watch out for one of the biggest movers, and those just outside on the top 10. It's Vincent Sora entering into 5th place of 6 positions from where he started. And with all that chain reaction of checkups, for a moment entering into turn 3, the 15.
Okay, Dakota,
Thinking
that's
about
good
an attempt to get
consistency.
by
Keep
Nick
it up.
Crawford, not able to do so. As you see, the drivers fan out through 1 and 2.
And that's what you're going to see for most of this race, is drivers utilizing all the track. But I think if you can utilize that bottom just better than anybody, then that's going to make passing that much easier. And that's what it seems like really the best drivers on the long run. There's also some close contact there being made between the 15 and the 74, some side drafting as you really want to pull that side draft right off before you pull into the corner so it slows them down. Entry is home. The 15 backing out right there because he saw that he was going to slide into that 25.
Sorry, I didn't think you were going to get there.
Vince, he's going to lose a couple spots. Maybe a couple more. Just with the momentum loss here. That's all there. Going to get a little dicey behind him.
Still there.
Smith as well. You see Malik Jones trying to
Still there.
different up to it. It's Smith to the inside.
Danny, are you ready for some freak incident that happened a couple seasons ago? You and I.
Michael Miller trying to get in the mix says your top
Dude,
10
wasn't that so
drivers
weird?
all
In the
within
car-
a second of
the
one
car from
another.
Genesis.
This is
Ferrari
impressive
on
driving by
10.
all these
Yeah, that
drivers
was-
13 laps in.
don't
You're already
even
starting
fucking
to
know.
feel the tires fade away if you've been too aggressive. And that's the big thing to watch out for, especially on entry and exit. How the drivers temper these tires. Because a big thing of note also here tonight we're going to keep an eye on is the weather. How will this change throughout tonight? Because during practice, the track temp was around 107 to 100 degrees. Race temp, it's below that, but 94 degrees, still a warm track the drivers are dealing with here early on.
And it can definitely climb, that's for sure. It can go up.
We're not losing time to the leader. It's frustrating. We're all packed up on each other too.
Slides up behind John Forbes there as he's going to go around the 77 only Coon. So Forbes continuing his march forward as he's now.
Don't worry, somebody's
up
just
into
about to hit the
top
fucking
seven.
wall
So the
for
11
kill
making
somebody
an
else.
appearance once again.
So really well that weather was up. Saw the wind. It was a consistent 10 miles per hour going west. So
That was at 42.31.
These drivers got to be careful, especially on the exit of these corners, not to rush into one another or even get pushed off of these corners. As you see, Malik Jones currently up to 8th position. Just watching the competition going back and forth in front and beside him. And looking behind, drivers that are trying to still make their way forward. We got the line at the top screen outside of the top 10. Joshua Stovall is now stalled out in 13th. Danny Cochran is stalled out in 14th. These drivers are trying to make attempts to move forward, but we're starting at that stage where tire wear, it is so difficult to make big moves. You have to be willing to make some very risky attempts.
Caught with some dirty air there, just sent me right to the wall.
You said you have to pretty much clear the driver.
78. Now the low side is clear.
If you don't get the clear call,
Gaggle.
not expected to check out that much. You see there, Justice Smith was trying to make the move with Stovall. He couldn't get it done. The 2 takes advantage. I think it's his outside quarter panel. Now that's going to bring him in a chance and opportunity to round around the outside of the 45.
Right side's got some scuffed up paint, but we're okay.
This is kind of an opportunistic track here as it gets later into the run because you got to kind of take advantage of people who are trying to go for themselves. And then when you try to make the passes yourself, you got to get them done in one corner because if not, you'll be quickly.
Holy plow city, dude.
Danny Cochran still currently is
Can't do anything here.
Position up front. It is the Elwood Design Esports drivers 1, 2, Ethan Garcia, Alan Elwood, Cody Reed still blinking periodically, but newcomer into the mix of our top 5. Jared Talmadge at 5 positions. He qualified
It's going to be
9th.
like
no
that's zero.
surprise.
Wait for the guy in front of you to make a mistake.
This season, this 27 has been just
Yeah.
marching to the
I was the
front
leader
every
of this pack and I made a
single
mistake.
one of them. It's my favorite driver to watch out for later in a run because you never know if he's going to be the head honcho of leading the race late. We're running down a driver for a chase for a win.
I ain't got to agree with you. I think he's definitely such a great,
That's why I'm waiting for somebody to hit the wall and bounce off into somebody else.
Becoming really what he's become. He's excellent over the whole course of the race now. It's just really, really fun to watch. And you can see right here, he got a very opportunistic move right there to get to that right rear quarter panel on the 25. Now, Reed's going to drop it all the way low here, trying to shorten the
my
distance.
line here
He's
is
clear
enter
for the
high
moment,
and
but
exit
look at the
low.
run the 27's about to have here. This opportunity to get to the inside. He might be able to get a good side draft here and be about a nose and a half ahead here before they enter the corner.
Jared Talmadge to the inside. Is fully clear from Cody Reed. Will be clear.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure it out myself.
The corner for Jared Talmadge. Big reason why we're seeing this huge jump up throughout these last couple of seasons. His team of Benson Racing. That's going to be Jared Talmadge.
Hoping I was nicer to my tires than all you guys were.
Nobody else is looking like me. It's not a problem on my end. Still there. Hopefully it'll be fine.
He had a lot of knowledge from past champions of this series.
Using my hold your line. You're down low in the spot, so I just stayed on it. Still there.
Entering tonight. You're seeing the front row. A lot of them in the top sector of this course are in line
deeper in the field, outside the top 20. That's where the battling side by side is. And this is where the danger of a caution lining up. I've been watching these drivers for the past 2 laps. Huge checkups, and they are running on top of
Hold your line.
Trying to clear him.
26.
All these
time was
drivers mix. They just
42.8
massive runs into the corner.
Still there.
And also big braking moments where
Hold that line.
ready to see someone just run someone over and see a caution.
Hold your line.
That way.
Okay, Dakota, you've used half your fuel.
10 and 91 there.
Still there.
Trying to get up in front of the 10, but the closing
Hold
rate
your line.
was so quick
Clear
there
outside.
between the two. But yeah, I mean, you look at someone like Noah Steele. I mean, look how far up he was before that moment. He got shuffled back with that, and he's just been stuck back here. So it just shows you again track positions, everything, because all these drivers here, they're just kind of all together, kind of stuck battling, and it's you make a pass and then you get passed back. So it's a tough situation. They got to keep fighting back here.
And if you're just joining us, well, we are 20 laps in. We have been clean and green all the way through. Nico Garcia, Alan Elwood,
Still there.
The top front row. Top 2 drivers stay where they started. It's been a lot of great flag
Turn,
racing
motherfucker.
on here tonight. The question is, what do you think
Still
about
there.
the road?
Your inside's
With a
clear.
number of around 35 to 37 laps on fuel. You can take it. But Zach, is that the range that you want to go, or do you think these drivers might be thinking about pitting sooner than that during tonight's run?
I know it could be a little bit sooner, Sam, but I kind of like that 35 region, like you were saying, just because it kind of just puts you in a better situation for the rest of the race. It's always one of those situations where you want to pit with.
You've just done a 42.83.
If you go out there and undercut everybody, yeah, you're going to go out there and have the advantage of the fresher tires and be running, almost about a second and a half faster. But you're not going to be using the advantage of the draft. And once you get caught by those drivers with those fresher tires that have the draft, you're going to lose that draft at them. So you got to really make that decision wisely to pit with a great group, because that decision of who you pit with and when you pit could be the deciding factor if you stay with that front.
Are outside.
Oh, I didn't mean to do that. No, that's all right.
Garcia, car number
You're good, man.
78, is leading the race.
14 with the 19 Tyler Dangler, 45 of going to be Justin Smith going back and forth, and also further up ahead.
Got a car outside.
More back and forth side by side action.
Hold your line.
The drivers just outside of our top 3.
Still there.
As we'll go 3 wide for a quick moment. 4th
Still there.
position. Nick Crawford, Cody Reed, John Forbes.
Hold your line.
Nick Crawford, who's
Okay,
going to be
Dakota,
taking
the next
advantage
car
of
is
that run.
Jets. Car number
Tire
20,
difference.
B license.
Looking
Their
at those
rating
last
is
laps, best
1.9.
lap
Clear outside. Car low.
was in the high 40-second
Still
range,
there.
about 40.9, 40.8. Last
Still there.
lap in the mid 42-second mark.
Still there.
These drivers almost 2 seconds off
Still
of what their
there.
fastest times were. That's a crazy drop off.
Hold your line.
23 laps in.
It really
Still
is.
there.
It just shows you, how much this track
Hold your line.
It's fun to see even that with all that tire wear,
inside.
everybody stays
Car
there
low.
stacked up. But you think with that much fall off,
Clear inside.
a lot more separation, but the racing just stays that good. But up
Car
front,
inside.
the racing's getting that much better.
Hold your line.
He's trying to take advantage of this
Clear on the
his
inside.
teammate, but it's going to be Jared Tallman 3 wide to the inside here. They're
Car
down the
number
back straightaway.
27 is now
From the top
leading.
rope to the bottom, he'll be attempting to go for the slide job move to the inside. Is the 27 Jared Tallman,
26.
hoping to find the grip to stay to the inside. Able to get by 1. Elwood Designs esports driver not able to get by the 2nd. Garcia keeps his foot on the throttle but touches the wall. The 78 rushes the wall. He'll lose the momentum. Tallman takes the lead. They'll be 3 wide back for 2nd place. 4 wide for a moment. John Forbes puts his hand in the mix. They'll stay 4 wide down into turn number 1. Backs out's going to be the most of the drivers. Elwood keeps his foot in the throttle. And Nico Garcia from the lead to 5th in a blink of an eye. And this fall off might not be over just yet.
Yeah, it doesn't look to me as he got to that wall pretty good there, Sam. And he just wanted to stay on the right rear quarter panel of the 27 and just overdid it just that little bit, because now he looked to the inside of the 11 here. But man, oh man, that was a wild sequence. Just shows you can go from the lead to 5th in just one moment like that. Is now they'll almost be side by side. They're going to make some contact. No thanks, of course, the 74.
High side.
Crawford going to be trying to
Hold your line.
Garcia will stay low.
42.79.
The outside run.
Still there.
Cody Reed still in the mix. And
Still there.
pushing and going.
Clear eye.
With all of how this run goes, you're looking at all the drivers willing to use up their tires early on. They're just fighting to hold position. And drivers like Sora, they're just running the inside. It's where they've been all throughout this run, even with making passes.
outside.
And the other drivers follow their clutches.
Hold your line.
As Garcia stays low, he's just losing all of his position and timing. As he tries to hold that.
I didn't think that was going to work there.
He's struggling ahead. Behind these drivers and those trying to get climbed back into this mix. You've got
B25. That was at 42.69.
And with the fact that pit stops are right around the corner, within 8 to 9 laps, we'll be expecting our first drivers to hit pit road. Big advantages could be creeping up for those that are inside of the top 10, because you pit early, you will be the leader coming out of pit road if you get a good run into pit road and exit.
You definitely will with how close everybody is, Sam, you know, and how much the tire bulb is too. You will very much take advantage of that. But again, it's going to play a factor too. You know, when they catch up to you, you might not be able to hang on just as much as you want. Is now
then go forward.
He's going to bounce to the inside here, trying to make the pass. Nico Garcia, who continues his struggles now, he's going to look to block the inside, but it's Vincent Sora who looks to the outside of him. So looks like Sora might have made the perfect move there, but now the 25 going up to the top rope, that's going to put the air on the 15's nose. I don't know if he'll have enough.
You're not going to convince me we're going to go this whole race without a caution, though. Not this track, I can't. We might, though. Maybe. I don't know.
Helps out Vincent Sora to make that pass and get by. Now Vincent Sora will drop to the inside group, trying to get by Cody Reed. Reed continues to fight and claw to stay in this fifth place position. After doing all that work to get by Garcia, does not want to just relinquish this position as easily as he just saw.
Who's going to pit
He will
first?
stay in line for now. Battle for the lead will be back underway as Alan Elwood. Watch Talmadge had the lead for a quick moment for the Ford. Dive, huge slide job move for the Ford machine. Watch out for the big run for the 27 and the 74 as they're going to be trying to take back this position. The Ford has to check up for a quick moment. And Talmadge back to the inside. They'll drag race into turn 3 with a driver who's really in the catbird seat to watch out for this run. It's the 74 of going to be Crawford as well as the 11 of John Forbes. They're going to be having a huge run here off 4.
That they are. This is just some great racing there between these leaders. And oh, look at that. The 11 here. He's right in the mix. For a moment,
the next car is Morales.
Again, look to the inside here. He's going to pull a little side drive. Go way to the inside here and try to drive such a shorter distance. He will clear the 27, but you're going to see again the 27 back up the entry. Roll the center now and turn down the racetrack. And what he's going to do is try to exit right here on the right or left rear quarter panel to get that side drive. Wasn't as good as that Crawford. He's going to take advantage of that.
Still there.
Clear on the high side. Spacing though to make this pass work, and they are too close. Crawford needs to pass both drivers now, otherwise he can be losing these positions that he was attempting to grab. They'll stay side by side. John Forbes will get it back in line, the outside lane. Too much draft power as Alan Elwood slow. He's trying to keep Talmadge and Crawford line side by side.
Car number 98. Their rating is
31 laps are in the books. And Jesse Thornton will be our first driver to hit pit road for the 20 machine. Up front, this battle for the lead. They're almost 3 wide for second place, and it's just continuously back and forth action. And with all this great battling, it's not just bringing in the battle for 4th, it's bringing in the battle for all those drivers that are 5th on that.
But it is. I mean, Vince Sora just got by. Looks like Cody Reed to get himself up in the 5th, so we'll see how that works out now. Nico Garcia trying to go back around Cody Reed. So Garcia, who struggled there for a little after he's fighting back strong, is now right on board. Thomas.
Weird to see Isaac back here, though. He's fast.
He's going to take it to the outside. I'm going to close that door, sir.
And 3 of Thomas Green, teammate of Jared Tullen.
Car number 4 is now leading.
Those drivers have been having a spectacular season for themselves. Going back and forth with Thomas Green, there has been so many times where he's going to have one points this season. Only has
still there
so far. Bill's back in Chicagoland. Green still there. Green enters here tonight.
Clear outside. Or outside.
And looking for another chance.
Still there. Still there. Clear on the high side.
Trying to be a lot faster.
A little bit of technical difficulties again here. Might be cutting out, but we're battling here down the front straightaways. They're going to be pushing here.
That was
that 25 is getting the shove from the 70 and Nico Garcia. And we'll see if he can fight around here on the inside.
Woo! I thought I was about to get the wall there for a second.
Before we get to pit road, this is going to be an interesting sequences even while this battle's going on up front. Again, they're side by side. Jared Talmadge, he's fighting back here on the 4 is now the 11 of John Forbes. He's found his way into 3rd around the 74 Nick Crawford, and we'll see if he can fight his way back into position.
his best as Alan Elwood, also Jared Talmadge, stay side by side for themselves, and each lap that ticks away, you're trying to be that lead driver. So
car number 27 is now
going to be having to run down everyone else in front of you, and the greatest advantage through pit stalls. And I mean, Zach, for these drivers that are right on top of one another, I know we talked about the fact that pit stops, lap 35 to 37, they might be able to push it even further than 37 if maybe some of these drivers were fuel saving. Curious on who's on the mindset of saving fuel to go even further than that lap 37 marker.
You know, I think what they'll do here, Sam, is they're going to run it.
Car inside.
The reason I say that even is just
inside's clear.
due to the fact that you kind of want to stay out here as long as possible. Gives you a little bit more opportunities. Old John Forbes there got a little tight off the exit corner. I think that's one thing I've noticed big here tonight. If you don't get that exit right off the floor, you can really get very, very
Okay, to Hotel, we've got about 4 laps of fuel left.
See how they can
lap time was
back up to those leaders.
42.94.
Saw how much time that was a loss there for momentum. The pit stops definitely are going to be looming here soon, but I think they're going to run this thing dry just to give themselves the most opportunity for the most open stretch.
Right a Hail Mary already.
I see that.
Driver chat is running Ferraro, making the call that he'll be going into pit road now. Ferraro's back in 25th position, trying to go with that undercut to gain some spots on lap 35 heading into lap 36. Other drivers, no reports of pit road, calling the names on the rest of the field as they continue to stay out on track.
Damn.
Looking at some of the other drivers that have been making.
We've got about 3 laps of fuel left. The last lap time was at 43.06.
I'm not sure Isaac.
I don't know what I'm doing.
I don't know that Isaac should be apologizing for that.
Seeing Miller running the outside groove, and Danny Copper in top 10 might be calling the 2's name.
Watch out for
Miller
fast
stays
traffic.
high, the 2 just takes off so cleanly off of turn 2.
That was a great exit for Danny. We'll see
Car
with the
high.
side draft. Will he be able to
Pit,
have
pit,
enough
pit, pit.
entry to
23. Hold
the
your line.
drive
You're
past
clear
this
outside.
99?
Outside.
I think he will get the clear call here. He's
Hold your
got
line.
to maneuver
Clear
himself
high.
up the racetrack and go ahead. But
Thomas
looks
and
like Pit Road's
Nico, I will
calling
be
the
going
20,
next.
The 25 and the 74. Nick
What's your speed
Crawford,
limit in the
the two
pits?
teammates
Lane
come to
speed
pit
limit
road.
is
So Cody
55
Reed,
miles per
Crawford
hour.
on pit road.
Expect you'll be coming out of the pits into
Just
clear
you guys are aware.
few
I'm
seconds
going to be
ahead
going
of
low in green 4.
We think we'll need to stop again.
Others
Four.
calling their
In,
names
5,
directly on lap
4,
36.
3,
Now keep our eyes
2,
out on the black
1.
flag. Who
Watch
could
now.
get penalized here? Battle for the
Pity
lead
here.
is still side by side. Either one of them are
I
really
honestly didn't think we would get
off.
free flag this
And
last
this is so
63%.
surprising to see Alan Elwood,
Left
Jared
front,
Thomas. They have been the
92%.
pace setters here tonight. They've been up front, charging forward. Another driver making the call that they're going to be heading to pit road. Michael Miller is going to be entering pit road. But who of our top 2 will first hit pit road? They'll stay out for another lap, taking lap 38.
And they will. This is some excellent battling, but they're definitely losing time to the drivers
There's
that have
traffic behind.
pit
Watch
road.
your
We'll
mirrors.
see
Four
how
trucks
much
pit this
that
time. Four trucks pit
situation
this time.
plays out here to work in their favor or hurt them, as you see on the inside.
Okay,
there, guys,
the next car is Garcia, the car number 50.
78 this time.
3.2. Clear on the outside.
I'm pitting.
Elwood
I'm pitting.
Sounds like he's going to be making the call pit road.
Pitting,
first
pitting,
lap.
pitting.
Who else will join him?
I'm pitting too.
Fuel will open on lap 68 and will end on lap 73.
For themselves. As Danny Cochran makes the call, John Forbes to the outside.
The leader is
Here we
pitting
go.
now. Our
Top
outside.
runners.
Jarrett is pitting
Picking up
position.
Stallmates,
2.
also
Should
pulling
come out
back.
close in
It's
front
all
of
of our
you.
top
The work
3.
ride round.
Everyone's hitting
Car
pit
number
road.
16
The
is
call
leading the
is
race.
now,
Pitting this
and
time,
everyone
Justin.
makes it.
Wow, there, if you're Alan Elwood, you kind of had to bet. You were
324.
boxed in
The guy
there.
ahead is just
So if
posted
he
up.
was in the side to go pit road, I think
Oh.
his hand got forced there, as now everybody comes into
I
the
thought you were
boxes.
gonna go high.
John Forbes there. First in is old Danny Cochran back there. Maybe looks like a little sideways. Hopefully didn't slide through that box.
53 bit this time. 53 bit this time.
Couple of sides. Still out on track,
Outside.
though, are 5 drivers. It's Joshua Kanata,
He's
Ollie
still
Fonseca,
there.
Tyler Dangler, Eric
Side is
Stamp,
clear.
Logan Ranky. These are drivers that were outside of the
Carlo.
top 15. Just calming down,
Clear
pushing
low.
those tires as fuel as far as they could
The
go.
leader,
And
Kanata, is pitting.
pace
Car
I'm seeing
inside.
right now, pit road should be the call, and
Still
it'll
there.
be for the 16, the 24. They hit pit
Still there.
road. And I'm careful not to get caught.
Hold your
with
line.
speeding.
21. The lap time was at
Tyler
41.41. Still there.
Pit road, Eric Stamp,
Clear
and
inside.
Logan Ranky all enter, and we'll finish out our pit cycle. Drivers that have already made their pit stops. It's John Forbes currently leading the way, but Cody Reed will take that
Taylor,
lead
car
back
number
as the pit
19.
cycle
Just leave
Well, the
concludes.
same strategy.
That does. This spin cycle is going to complete. So Reed's going to slide his way up into position, and I'm not not sure. Nick Crawford hit ahead of him. He must have had an issue there because he's back in 19th, about 10 seconds behind him.
Looking at it,
The fastest lap for Stovall, 40.73.
Over 6 seconds.
23rd place.
For the 74.
The track temperature's decreasing. It's now 91 Fahrenheit.
Something that held him back, or maybe a spin out and check up. But it really hurt the 74 of Nick Crawford as C drivers get back up to pace. Battling back and forth. Thomas Green, Stovall going back and forth, as well as Nico Garcia. This is all battling for 9th place for this crew as they're slowly getting by traffic. And as this action is ramping back up side by side, we will go side by side.
The driver in front of us is
What tires anyway? 64 on our right front.
Hey,
Hey, what were your guys' tires that run?
Truck Series Season 8.
I was in the 50s on the right front.
Mine was 64.
It's been a fun one. First green flag pit stop is concluded. We're expecting at least one more, maybe one after that. We'll see. We'll be back right after this.
58.77.
64.79.
It's 52.81 on the right. And I hit way early, so that must turn him up. Caution for right now, I look pretty smart.
Yeah, caution wouldn't be bad here, that's for sure.
That lap was at 41.40. That's good consistency, keep it up.
My fault, man. I was all the way off the throttle.
You guys hear me when I talk over the chat?
Yeah.
Nick, I gotta ask, what happened over your stop? I don't have it on mine. Ryan, you're
21.
Slid through my box and tried to back up, and because I'm a dummy and I like realism, I don't have anti-stall on, so I stalled it. It's almost exactly what I done. You still think pineapple don't belong on pizza? Depends on pizza. Like, I had this Hawaiian barbecue pizza that had pineapple on it. No pineapple. And it was really good, but I wouldn't put it on one that has like regular tomato sauce.
You've just done a 41.65.
If you feel like you're faster and can lead better, just let me know. We can go back. I mean, we can try it. I don't know how much difference it will make with the graph. My tires do have a couple laps, so I don't think it matters. And then if this don't pan out, I'll give it back.
Car inside. You still there? You are clear low. You got a car on your inside. Still there. Clear on the inside.
Look at us. The Three Stooges, all together.
23rd place. You've just done a 42.06.
Rating is 1.9. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, from your commercial break. It's been a fun one so far as we've been watching the ISRC Lyrion Productions Truck Series. Race 8 for Season 8. The Rubble 200 at Auto Club. We've been clean and green all the way through. And currently, our leader is the 11 of John Forbes. After the car on the high side as well. John Forbes is our Simcam's biggest mover of the race in the first half. Up 20 positions from race start and qualified 21st. Up to first. Still there. Huge run for himself. He's got Jared Tolmich, Alan Elwood, the two drivers that were battling for the lead right before pit stop started. And right on that back bumper, also joined with them is Vincent Sorg.
I know, man. We're really not going to get a caution, huh?
So far, getting clean and green, 52 laps through.
Usually pro, no caution. Man, I usually like this track. I don't know if there's that car inside.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying.
Find a way to stay ahead. Still there. The 4 and the 27 that looked very strong. So
still there. That would be nice.
You know, when you look at the overall line of the season, just kind of like how who's had the pace, who's had the best runs, you know, still there. I really look at these 4 that are up front, and then I would add Thomas Green. You know, he'd be at the top 5. He's in 7th right now, so he's closing in. I want to add it up to that group, but his old Tolmich there flirts with the wall a little bit, but no surprise to see this group of drivers up front. These have been the top 8 here, I think, of the season, and right now they're going to be in the mix to battle it out here in these final few runs at this stage. So I expect to see these 4 together almost till the drop of their premium.
Hold your line.
Yeah, you're gonna get us now.
Other big movers that are going back and forth with one another. Joshua Stovall, Danny Cochran, they both are now instead of the top 10. Stovall currently runs in 9th, Cochran runs in 10th. Other big mover, Thomas Green, up 10 positions. That's Ethan Smith, who's up 10 positions in 6th. Thomas Green up 8 spots in 7th. Those drivers, just instead of our top 10, are about to run. Surprisingly, our pole sitter of Nico Garcia, he brushed the wall right before that pit stop cycle started. And he's starting to lose position to try to gain them back. He's
Moza runs half distance. Estimate 20 laps of fuel remaining.
Nick Crawford, big loss of time. And Zach, I don't know if you went
Hey,
back and saw
bastard,
exactly what happened to that 74, but he currently runs in 14th, and he was attached to Cody Reed up in 5th, but now he's got a long race and kind of in no man's land compared to where he was before.
Yeah, and I went back and did check that out. Actually, Sam, what happened there was the number one thing in iRacing you don't want to do when you come to pit road on an oval is be too far to the left. And what would be happens is he just got too close to the wall where they couldn't get the jack to jack up the truck. So he has to
outside.
back up, but he's got to back up, go to the right,
that line.
and then pull back forward, but don't pull too far
Hold your line.
left. So it's
Clear on the
it's
outside.
a very awkward situation, and that's why I think that 6 seconds of time was all should have. Normally when you slide through your box, you're going to lose 1-2 seconds, just depending on how
Right,
far,
the guy ahead of us
how
is
fast
stand
it
car
takes you to
number
get that truck
53.
fully backed up before they can get the service on the truck. But he definitely had the one cardinal sin you don't want to do is be too far left in your pit box.
He's got a lot of time trying to make up, but we're find the 74. Also driver qualified 10th, but he's better qualified runs right behind Nick Crawford. We find Justin Smith in 15th, Michael Miller in 16th, Joshua Kanata were those lead drivers that hit it in 17th. But I do also give a note of
B21.
drivers as we were going to that commercial break that called it a night early. Just for
Okay, Dakota, lap times are pretty consistent.
I feel like you have this to continue on the exact reason why he had to leave, but 97 calls it a night early.
You've used
And
half your
feels
fuel.
like he had a mechanical error that forced the 77 to have to call it early as well for himself. You can see that for both of those drivers. Probably one of the most shocking runs here tonight, Isaac Shelley, who's looked like, well, just like his teammates, Jared Talmadge and Thomas Green, fighting inside of the top 10 week in and week out here tonight, struggling to just be inside of the top 25 currently as Shelley.
Yeah, that is a huge head scratcher for me also. So, I mean, I look at him, I look at even like a Logan Braking, who's right behind him at 26. Like, you know, these drivers, I feel like, have had more speed than that this season. It just seems like it just has not come together here for them tonight. I mean, looking at it, Shelley and Braking do have much fresher tires than the next 4 guys ahead of them, so they got a few less laps on the tires. They should be able to hopefully close them down and maybe make some passes here. But when you look at the overall scheme of the race, they're both 18 seconds almost back from the leader, so that is definitely not where you want to be.
Yeah, it's really spaced out too, so.
Runs back in 23rd position. He's lost 3 spots from where he started here tonight. Right,
The lap time was
ahead of him,
42.63.
from where they started. There's also another driver who just entered the top 10 in 10th place, the 24 of Ali Fonseca. Qualified 13th, but he had to start at the end of the line in 29th position for tonight's race at a restart violation after last week's race at Nashville Superspeedway. He's climbed all the way up to 10th place. What a year charge by the 24 of Ali Fonseca.
And he's done an excellent job because I look back at pit stops. He pitted with his teammate of Kanata, and he's put about literally 4 or 5 seconds on Josh. So that is an excellent job by Ali, and he's continuing what he's kind of done for the past few weeks. It's just been really working well for him. And, he's running better right now than Danny Cochran. Somebody needs to run better than. He's running better than Josh Stovall. Somebody he's running better and making the pass on him. So he's continuing to make ground up here in the points. Don't count this 24 hours. We go to Las Vegas next week. It could be very, very close for that final 12th position.
If you've never seen our gearbox cam before, when someone's getting bump drafted and they are being tapped, you see the engine with the driver behind, and you saw Stovall's engine there for a moment. It's all Fonseca kind of chopping the nose of the 42 on the backstretch. Stovall, not the biggest fan of that.
Lap time was 42.72.
30, but they stay in line and continue to move forward as Trent Jump. Gonna be the next driver on their list to get by, and Ali Fonseca with the freshest of tires of all those inside of the top 10. Utilize as much as he can. 60 laps are now in the books, and looking at this field right now, Zach, I mean, we're seeing the fact of our top 4 are kind of having their own race.
21st.
6 seconds ahead of Ali Fonseca and co. They're going back and forth in their duels. But I'm curious on, of the drivers that are inside of our top 10, are you surprised by any of the drivers where they run? Do you feel like any of them might have a chance to try to run down our top 4s, or just against that
you know, I'm looking at Ethan Smith running the 6. That's an excellent day for him right now. That is just, you know, kind of really what he's been wanting this whole season, I feel like. So the 0-0, excellent job from him running 6. Thomas Green, you know, he drove his way up to the top 5. I felt like he was the top, you know, 5 guy this season so far, so not surprised to see him there. Only the concerns Sam is I don't know if you're going to catch that top 4 unless you get a caution, because it's about 3 seconds up to them. Yeah, those 4 are literally battling pretty much lap after lap, but they're not. Nobody's really making up lap time gains. You know, they're still running fast enough laps where they're keeping that ground up. So it is going to be a tough predicament if you want to get up there and battle with them, but still some great runs from a few in that top 10.
And speaking of cautions, if you look to the past year at Auto Club, you know cautions are bound to happen. The least amount of cautions that we've had the last 2 races is 5 cautions. The most we've ever had was back in season 10, season 5 with 10 cautions. That race, and then we had 7 cautions back in season 4, the first time we ran here at Auto Club, and a lot of the races have been during the nighttime condition. This track's a lot cooler, there's a lot more top one another, a lot more speed. I'm curious, Zach, I know with the fact that we have no stage break, that's assisted into this gapping, everyone's not on top one another in this green flag racing. I'm curious,
just done at 42.76.
Nighttime conditions, that might be another factor that we might be seeing while we're staying green.
I completely agree. I think if you have like a nighttime condition, which yes, the track's cooling down, so it's getting a little bit easier and more over to those cooler conditions that you would see at night. But I think at nighttime condition, you wouldn't see as much fall off.
Kind of use our stuff up this time.
So this
this has been a pretty boring race. Can't lie.
Danny, I'd like to respectfully request you get another clown horn.
Really set up a race that you got to stay on top of your tire. Where's
say my name?
You can't get fully away from each other because.
Yes, sir. I was requesting that you get another clown horn.
Away, but they are all going to be
we need
pretty
one,
much still battling because they just keep their tires.
It's been a great many seasons since that's been around.
27 drivers still out on track, putting pace down. You saw there,
I've got one here somewhere.
Down to 90 degrees Fahrenheit, and from 50 laps ago, it was up to 94 degrees Fahrenheit. So it has cooled off for these drivers, and each degree that goes down, the faster these drivers laps will get. Or you might have to focus
Whoever
on
decided this should have been 105 laps needs to have their brain dead.
Drivers that we talked about are the ones to watch out for a win. Led by the
No
11
offense,
of
but this
Sean
is terrible.
Then you've got Alan
Maybe it's just because I'm terrible, so this shit sucks.
Sora and Thomas Green running in 5th. The only problem for Green
20th place.
is over 3.5 seconds off of these top 4. Feeling like he's in his own world. Currently, Ethan Smith about a little bit under a second behind, but doing his best to run down the 3 as much as he can. And at this field currently, right now, we are 65 laps in. Some of these drivers might be thinking about pit stops here for the second green flag pit stop. Around lap 70, if these drivers pitted out lap 35, might be thinking about their second stop of the evening. Others will be pushing a lot further than now. They still have about 10 to, for some, even 12 more laps to push their fuel and tires as Ollie Fonseca, Trenton jump,
Alright,
get
Dakota,
close with one
time's pretty
another.
consistent.
7th place underway is the 24. Able to finally clear as Nico Garcia now attempting to get by Cody Reed on the outer rim.
These guys have been battling really, really hard, but Fonseca just climbing his way through. I mean, we saw him make the pass, you know, to get up to the top 10 on the Stowe. Now he's up to 7th, so he's kind of done an excellent job. And with the lap times he's running, I don't put it past him to be able to run to 6th and maybe even have the ability to be up there fighting with Thomas Green. So we'll see how Fonseca can continue this trend, but that little bit of a later stop that he made than a few of these guys is really paying off. So maybe that, you know, overcut is paying off.
Well, that was at 42.73.
God, all the tracks I've been looking forward to going to are just been disappointing so far for me.
As we continue to stay
This is
green,
no exception.
7 laps in. We'd love to hear from you out there in the chat. Who are you rooting for? I know from earlier in the race we had a lot of people rooting for Nico Garcia, Joshua Stovall, a couple of people rooting for Ethan Smith, who's been having a fantastic run here tonight. Again, Ethan coming off of one of his best runs of the season, getting a top 10 finish for himself last week at Nashville Super Speedway in the 0-0. And we can have another top 10 run here tonight. Could be another massive surge to propel him into a position here. We're heading to Las Vegas next week. And Zach, Las Vegas, we've
The car
seen
in front of us is
Smith
now
perform well,
Garcia,
we've seen
car number
Cochran
50.
perform well
Their
there
rating
at that
is
track.
3.2.
It's a game
That's the fastest lap
sport.
for Miller,
We've seen one track with
40.73.
first win, and also a track that brings out the worst of drivers, you could say, here in the ISRC Truck Series.
We've had some classic moments, needless to say, for sure, ones that have left a big history there in Las Vegas. So to close out the regular season there, I don't think they could have picked a better place, for sure. So, and you know, like you said, with E.D. Smith having a good run, that puts him possibly in the wild card position to where if he could go get a big career where a place where he's had good runs. So don't count a lot of these guys out. You still, just because you're not in position to get the top 12 in points, you can still go out there and win next week or tonight if something crazy happens to put yourself in position. So we'll see how it works out. But right now, this top 4 continuing to keep about a 3-second gap back to Thomas Green, even though they've been, I mean, just duking it out. Elwood, Forbes, Talmadge, and Sora, just all 4, just utilizing every bit of the racetrack.
As these top 4 go back and forth, some bizarre strategy calls are happening in pit road currently. Just hitting pit road, Nick Crawford, Jesse Thornton, Isaac Shelley, all getting service done. Already at pit road is Eric Stamp, Michael Miller that we saw put down the fastest lap, and Logan Granke. This is a lot sooner than I was expecting a lot of these drivers to hit pit road. It is around that lap 70 marker, so why not take the gamble?
The next car is Taylor, car number 19.
Now they
Their
hit
rating
pit
is
road
1.9
as our
on the
top
high
4
side.
continue to stay out on track. We're expecting them to stay out for at least another 5 to maybe 7 more laps.
That's exactly right, Sam. I think that's about how long you'll see the most of the top group stay out. But yeah, I think a lot of the
in
drivers
front is now
pit road
2.4 seconds. Window opens. Expect traffic on exit. Just behind Garcia.
They're kind of just throwing it at the wall,
Car in
just
front
trying
is
to
1 lap behind.
see if something sticks here. But I don't know if that's going to be the best timing here. I think staying out a little bit longer seemed to play out very well for
laps
me that I watched.
That was a 42.86.
Hasn't seemed to play out very well.
Lap times are pretty consistent.
Sheena Noah Steele, driver that won this race back in season 4, and the way that I was seeing this from the 8, I knew it was going to be a little bit more of a bigger factor here tonight. Still qualified well. Noah Steele, and this is a bigger track, so he always runs well. Qualified 5th. Kind of just flew back with the way the pit cycle is ran, and with the long green flag runs, and also being shuffled to the top at the initial start of this race. That's where
Garcia
he lost
ahead is
all of
pitting.
his time initially.
Look
I
out for
think
the
for
pit
Noah
speed
Steele
limit.
here
Okay,
this
we'll
evening,
pull you
it's
to
going
the
to be a
end.
big what
There'll
if
be traffic when you
question
exit the
for
pits,
the
just in front
for
of
once this
Crawford.
race is over.
No doubt, Sam. I think you're exactly right. Yeah,
Box
just
in a 5.
unfortunate situation for the
4,
team there. But
3,
gonna have to
2,
go into next
1.
week at Las Vegas
Box
and
now.
see if they can rebound their situation. But we'll see how long it is before these drivers
front,
up front
63%.
hit. It's still fanning
Front
out up
left,
front.
92%.
Talmadge now trying to take his opportunity maybe to look to the inside of the 11 of Forbes as he continues to lead. But it is just very much, I think, a waiting game from a lot of these 4. They know they just got to get through this next sequence of pit stops, and then when it gets to that last 15, 20 laps of the race, that is when it's going to be really the go time.
Watch your mirrors. There's a car
I'm
approaching.
pretty sure that was terrible net code, but I'm really
Fastest
sorry
lap for
regardless.
Ferrario, 40.69.
I don't feel like I got that close to you.
Contact gonna be made. Vincent Sora and also Alan Elwood. Big loss of time for the both of them. Luckily, they stay off the wall, but that is not the contact we want to see here. Coming late to this run when pit stops are literally right around the corner.
Man, oh man, that is a tough situation. Yeah, loss of time there for both of them is probably was more of a scare than anything, because it seems like they're going to be able to hang on when it comes to that draft. But still, gotta be a huge scare for both of them, and hopefully not no damage on either of those trucks that can hurt them. So we'll see if they can gather back up, get into the draft. But John Forbes and Jared Talmadge,
27.
We almost lost 2 of them right there.
Almost did, but we'll
I'm pitting in
for a
this
quick
time.
moment. Set up for when you think pit road is calling your name. Is it this lap? Is it the next? Do you wait 2 more? Cody Reed over the radio. Back in 10th place. He's going to be hitting pit road. Same for Joshua Stillfall and a few others. Those are drivers that pitted a lap before our top 4. So maybe not this lap, but the next could be the time that we're waiting for our top 4 to stop it. And they did it in dramatic fashion. The last pit's entry. And here's that wave of drivers. Pit road. Calling for Cody Reed, Danny Cochran, as well as Stillfall.
24. That lap was a 40.6.
Big signs have been multiple drivers have done that. it certainly is weird to see these drivers making those aggressive moves, and it looks like for one, this is going to hurt him, and this could be a chase-ruining issue. Danny Cochran, black flag. We saw that slide, and it looks like it will hurt him on his way into pit road.
All right, going 3 wide, you're inside. Green is taking from position 5. You think he'll come out just in front of you?
Making that mistake, and unfortunately that mistake right there, like you said, Sam, could be the reason why he doesn't go to the playoffs. I mean, his arrow could set up where he misses out. Still there. So that is a tough break. Can't beat yourself, and hold your line. Is the easy place to do it.
Hold your line.
Trench out. They'll be making their stops.
78.75, 78.75.
To get a black flag on entry. Exit pit road penalties. It did happen for Malik Kuntz earlier.
Okay, Dakota. Next car is Ferrari, car number 10.
That is a 40-second hold.
The leader's pitting now. Alan entering the pits. He's in P3. Looks like he'll come out just in front of you.
That is a tough run for the two. Those hope for a good run for himself. Here's the top 4 all together. Slides hard on the brakes. No black flags for any of our top 4. And they do it once again. Zach attacks pit entry for those
Ferrari. Ahead is now 0.95
there for him. He just went around the outside of almost all 3 of them.
14.66.
Second gap back
behind is increasing.
Side by side. Good job by the 4 there. That was a race-saving moment there because it really, I mean, if you come off a pit road, I think I'm more than a second back from that leader. You weren't going to hang on to the draft.
God damn it, Jared, you made me miss my box.
Close to each other, so this is going to be a
I'm sorry, man. You got to blame the leader, man. They can't get a single pit stop done right.
Exiting all on top of one another, and as they're exiting out of pit road, we almost had a wreck on pit entry. As the driver of Stovall, Danny Cochran, making contact with the entry of turn 3. And they almost spun around right around Trent.
Hey Danny, what the fuck was that?
Together as only Fonseca makes his stop.
Were you trying to give me the bottom?
The next car is car number 31. The rating is 3.0.
Of the closing rate, the change of strategies, those that are on the better tires, those that are on the older tires, just running into one another is
I do apologize for
this scenario. That this we're seeing
to help him out.
Fastest lap for green, 40.62.
It was the sudden jerk up in front of me. That was it for me.
Guys are going to catch each other in weird opportunities.
Because there was a car pit.
Last lap time was at 41.63.
Cycle, I think. Now, technically, it's going to be a full cycle of Forbes getting back to the lead just over Ethan Smith, just as I say that.
Ethan Smith now in position.
Yeah, we're all good.
Banking on a caution. It could change your fate. For some of these drivers, get back into the mix for a chance. See Stovall Reed going back and forth. That's back in 10th place. But it's the rundown to the end of the run. Green flag pit stops are over. It's about who can find the speed to make it to the end. And as you're seeing the side-by-side action on screen, we will go side-by-side once again for the final time this evening. It's been a pleasure to give you the call here tonight on Freecast Broadcasting of the ISRC Lariat Productions Truck Series Race 8. It's the Rubble 200 at Auto Club. It's been a fun one. We've been green all the way through. Can we stay green? We'll find out right after this when we come back from this commercial break.
Last lap was at 41.91.
Long race.
Yeah.
No caution, huh? I always got the stage for damn.
That's crazy.
Car high.
Yep, was happy on these last 2 runs. Hold your line. That first run, me up messed up so much. Yeah, still there. It's hard to drive.
Yeah, for sure.
Still there. Still there. 321. Just done. 42.00. Hold your line. Clear line.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the ISRC Lara Productions Truck Series on Freaky Fast Broadcasting. My name is Sam Dyer. Joining me up in the booth, as always, is Zach Hall. And running productions in the background is Robert Moyer Jr. And Zach, we've been clean and green, 82 laps through. And it's John Forbes, Jared Talmadge, Vincent Sora, Alan Elwood. Your top four. Thomas Green has put himself into the mixture here. He is a part of the fight, save for Ethan Smith. And the fight is on of these top six. Well, at one moment it was just against four. I think it still is a picture of four drivers based off how their tires are looking. But on site on our screen, six drivers are in line for a chance to win here tonight.
Yeah, definitely. Six drivers have an opportunity right now. I think Ethan is going to be still the most disadvantaged. He has got the biggest separation of the tire delta when it comes to the differences.
Hold that line.
4 laps for him. Thomas Green
still there.
Clear on the high side. Was the make.
Okay, Dakota. The next car is Ferrari. Car number 10.
Hang on here. Conserve the tires while hanging onto this draft. Green could be still with an opportunity to hang on with only 1 lap.
Oh man, this is
big, but it still
exciting.
Can't
lie to you guys.
Still just has given them an opportunity. I don't think was there if he did with them.
Still there.
All these different strategies. They stay in line. Ethan Smith is losing touch, so it's just a 5-horse race up front. Nick Crawford, with his early pit stop, has put him into 7th. He's just looking for a net gain finish here tonight. He was around 14th place when this pit cycle started.
I mean,
and after that first quick flight pit stop kind of threw him into a bad spot. But that way that this run was going to go is Trent Jones right on board. Gets by Nick Crawford. Cody Reeves and now the next driver.
The track temperature's falling. It's now
22 laps to reeling our 2 teammates up here.
A couple of other drivers of note that are trying to continue their charge forward. Molly Fonseca.
Guy in front is Taylor.
His
Car
charge,
number
well,
19.
24.
Their rating is 1.9.
13th position. We got pit stops. He pitted later than everyone else. He's got to do the same charge he just did on that last run. But Zach is going to be a lot harder with 20 laps to go. Those passes, everyone's going to be fighting for every position in front of him.
Yeah, and he's got to get it done quicker this time. He's got to go much harder on the tires, I think, here. So he's got to use the advantage that he has built up here. So first one on his list going to be Noah Steele, and then the pole center Nico Garcia there on 11th. Be next in that line. But you know, for Fonseca, I'm looking at it right now. It's about 3 seconds up the road to strip jump in 7th. I think that should be his goal. If he can get over to 6 and catch Ethan Smith, he'll be doing a lot of good work there. But if anything, I think 7th, Fonseca will come out of this with a smile on his face.
Everything in his power to move forward. And also Joshua Stovall, Danny Cochran, Cody Reed. And they're scared. Just about 8 laps to go.
Car number 29 behind is increasing.
Instead, they'll be fighting with Nick Crawford, the slow machine on the outside. It's going to be force Cody Reed to the inside groove and do everything he can. That white line to get by. Works out for Cody. Now Stovall, Cochran's turn.
That lap was at 42.12.
The clutches all the way back. I mean, this is going to be hard for Nick Crawford. He's now fallen to 10th place, and with a little bit less than 20 laps to go, I think this could be a net loss with the pace we're seeing on the difference between himself and all the other competition around him.
Yeah, it is a concern for me. I just haven't seen the undercut work tonight. Every time we've seen people who do it,
okay,
really kind of come to a deficit. What told me how it really didn't work well was when I looked at someone like a Cody Reed. He was off the first pit stop sequence of the race, a couple seconds off the lead, and then by the second pit stop, he's almost 8-10 seconds on the lead just due to the older tires and just the tire delta that they built up with the older pit stop. So I just don't feel like that's been the right call tonight. I feel like the drivers who stayed out long, such as like Ali Fonseca, has really paid big dividends.
With all these laps ticking away, Danny Cochran has put pressure and is trying his way to push this group forward. Reason why he's currently the first driver 1 lap down, trying to prove what if I was still in this position, I would have been fighting with you, but also trying to keep good positioning for if there is a caution, and as long as the 2 isn't involved, he would be grabbing what our award is called the Lucky Dilla. It's kind of like the Lucky Dog. If you get a caution, you're the first driver 1 lap down, or the first driver
the lap time was
down,
42.34.
1 lap back, and Cochran really needing a caution to get that Lucky Dilla award and put him back to the fight, being on the lead lap. after grabbing the black flag under that previous pit stop. This
All right,
is just going to be a hard pill to swallow for the two, knowing
20 license. Their rating is 0.9. You got a car on the low side. Your inside's clear.
With
Car
Daniel
low.
Garcia now with this run. He can be outside looking in, heading into Las Vegas as the two continues to fight back and forth with Cody Reed and Stovall and Co.
Very close battle in there. There was some contact even between the two, and the 25 is now with the two right there to 78. So
The gap in front is now
here, but it's going to open
0.66.
Fonseca on those fresher tires going to be looking to roll the inside, and man, look at Ollie just right there using every bit of tire advantage he can, and now he's going to have the draft from the two. If he can, he's going to need to look here to the inside of the two. Just cannot get close enough yet, but we'll see if the 24 can have the run off the exit of 4.
Big push in Ollie Fonseca to the two machine of Danny Cochran. Cody blinks out for a quick moment. That big push did set up a huge run into the corner, just not enough speed though happening, and there's that chance. Ollie Fonseca to the inside. They're going to be 3 wide for a quick moment. Cochran going to be in the middle, and he's going to get the assistance from Nico Garcia, but Garcia just will stay in line with the two, as Ollie Fonseca will love all those passes being made. Put that 24 up to 8th place, and Zach back charged to get 7th here tonight. It's back on. Now he's got to make that run. It's a little bit less than a little bit over a second, but Trent Jump is in the picture for Ollie.
That he is, man. Ollie has done a great job. He got all those passes really done in really one big lap. It was not a bunch of time lost, and he did exactly
That's
what
your
he
teammates
needed
right
to do
here.
to
Hey,
continue his march forward.
we're a team.
Danny Cochran is still fighting there on the bottom side again. Like you said, he is that lucky Dilla position driver right now, trying to maybe catch a quick caution here to get himself back on that lead lap. But definitely right now fighting with these lead lap drivers, trying to just maybe find a way around them to position himself.
Other drivers are around the cutoff line, racing against one another. Cutoff line of the points, they're racing around one another out on track. The battle for 16th place, you have Tyler Dangler. He is currently racing with Samuel Garcia as well, having the likes of the 99 lap down machine of Michael Miller getting into the mix in. The reason why these points are so important, this is the battle for Samuel Garcia. Again, he was tied 12th in points, but he was just 1 point behind Tyler Dangler, who's 11th in points. Just getting a buy this 19 machine could really just give a little bit more and a great feeling heading to Las Vegas, where there will be a lot of pressure for a good race, as the 99 fresh tires just still aren't helping them behind this duo that's battling back and forth.
It's just not able to find the grip, as now it'll go around the outside there and all the way through
3 wide here in the middle. The guy ahead is Ferrario.
The job done around the top side there.
Still there.
He's going to be that
Clear on the
lap
inside.
down to these drivers. There's
outside.
by Dingler, who now
Clear left and
16th,
right.
who, you know, Dingler coming in tonight was 11th in points, had a little bit of a gap back to Cochran. So seeing the two have troubles is a good sign for him, but you know, like the likes of Fonseca, some of these other
Still
drivers
there.
having great nights is
20th
not
place.
what some of these drivers need.
Still there.
No, not at all. It's going to turn this
clear
race
outside.
next week, maybe a 1-2 point situation, and with no stage points being enabled to be grabbed for this whole entire season. The rule that was implemented, it kind of took away those big bonus point swings you have from one race to the next. And it turns every race. It is so important to stay consistent in good finishes, or at least finishing inside of the top 15 week in and week out. That's why we're seeing some drivers that we wouldn't think about we're going to be making it into the chase, having a chance, like a Tyler Dangler, like a Samuel Garcia, and many of others that have been inside of our top 12 at some point this season. But with the laps ticking away, it's 11 laps to go, and we got to keep our shot up front. Reason why? Top 4 are still on top of one another. Top 4, 4/10 is the difference from first back to 4th place, and they are staying right on top of one another. It's John Forbes, Jared Talmadge, Vincent Sora, Allen Elwood. You got the rookie, the development driver, and the champions mixed in between. And Zach, it's course, it would be the 3-time champ of John Forbes leading the way.
Bet it would be John.
All right, Isaac, I need you to push me
he's kind
up
of in a
to
rough
Canada.
stretch right now. It's crazy to say that for as good as
All right, Isaac, I need you to turn
He's had a little
Tyler
bit of a rush stretch. It's just been bad luck getting caught up with
You've
the
just done it. 42, 5-0.
I think tonight could turn things
I
around.
need to
He needs
throw
that to
myself
happen
off
before
of
these
21st
playoffs
lap.
kick in. think that's going to be crucial for his run. Is now
better go for it.
Elwood. He's going to dive to the inside of the 15 against Sora.
I'll sit at the bottom and hope that you crush me on the way down.
He's just trying to come out here with a good points run.
Make sure you do it on the track first.
The level has to be on him. There is no waiting. If you're sitting in fourth with 10 laps to go, down to 9 to go, you need to make these passes immediately. Hold position,
we're both at the wall in front of us.
and just stay in line with each spot you grab. You cannot just wait and linger in fourth. You need to get up to third. Then wait two laps, get into second, propel yourself forward. And the Ford has attempted and has learned a lot throughout this run and throughout this green flag race. But I want to take a quick look with 9 laps to go, coming up to 8 at the weather. Where are these drivers racing at again? We started this race around 95 degrees Fahrenheit. We're down to 87, almost a 10-degree drop off from where we started. And Zach, that has changed up the fact that there's more grip, but it's also taken away that factor of big passes later on in the run. I think that's why we're seeing these drivers close to one another, but so difficult to get by the 11.
I completely agree. I think this is going to be tough to get the job done. I mean, Forbes has really played his cards right, but I think the closer we get to the end of this race, there's 8 laps to go. I think if you're Jared Thomas, you've got to take your chances here. As he goes for it right now, he's actually going to clear the 11, but I think you're going to be able to crossover move here. I don't think he's still there. Here. I think you've got to take an opportunity. Hold your side by side. If you're Vincent Sora, Alan Elwood right here, hold your line. Take advantage of this.
They wait in the wings. They see how this is going to conclude. Does Talmadge complete this pass? Or does John Force take back the control in the 11?
NASCAR is
he gave up the spot on the entry of turn 3, but that crossover move was so pretty. But a great pinching job of the 27, not allowing the 11 to drop all the way up top and get that momentum and speed back. They'll stay side by side, driving racing in turn 3. This is where Force has the advantage. You're really sending it into the corner, but it's on Talmadge on how much space he's willing to give up, and he doesn't give up a lot as John Force has to stay to the inside and vanish to the 27 off the exit of the corner.
Oh, and look at the big run they're going to have from behind because they both overdrove the entry so much to make sure they cleared each other. Now look at this run from Vincent Sora and Alan Elwood. Here they come. They're right behind them.
Well, with 5 laps to go, 6 laps to go, excuse me. When do you make that attempt for the pass? They fan out 3 different lanes utilized on the entry of turn 1. And it's John Force clearing the space. Talmadge now will attempt the inside. Does he feel like the inside groove's the better position here late in this run? We've talked about how the outside's important, but it's Vincent Sora who takes that white line spot, backs out smartly, but it hurts the 27's exit. A huge push to clear John Forbes, but here's that Forbes crossover move that we've seen all night long. The big block by the 27, but it was too late. Now with 5 laps to go, Forbes, Talmadge, they stay side by side into 1.
You know, look at the run he's got. He came out of nowhere. He passes Vincent Sora. He's up to 3rd. His Sora now drops back the 4th.
Oh my goodness.
Green's watching all this for about a second back going, you guys get into it. I might have a shot.
Get into this racing action, but if you're that 3rd, 4th place driver, you can't race side by side too much. You gotta stay in line. Allow that 3rd driver in line to kind of pull you back into the mix. Allow these drivers to go back and forth. Alan Elwood's backing off. He's taking the higher groove. He wants the massive run off the exit of the corner as Talmadge, he's finally fully clear of John Forbes.
This is a big run, Sam. Here we go. It's going to be Elwood with a giant, massive run. Where's he going to take this run?
Sorry, Josh, you disappeared for like all turn 4, and I didn't
off by the 11 here.
pop back up the way to the straightaway.
He could have looked to the inside, but I think he
Yeah, no, you're good. That brings me the fuck out there.
Any chance or opportunity here.
He's trying to stay in the opportune position to go for these big run passes, but it's more of a setup. Wait for the front 2 to be in line like this for a chance to send it down low with the big slide job pass. Here's the run. This is the time that Alan Elwood was waiting for. It's 4, coming up to 3 laps to go. Forbes and Talmadge, they continue to bicker back and forth, and it's really not hurting neither one of them. They continue to hold position. Here's that run from Elwood. He'll duck it down low. Talmadge has nowhere to go. He has to stay in line, and Forbes holds off the 4.
And this big block from the 11, that was almost
Go
a
ahead,
disaster there as the 4 backed out of it, but he's going to dive up the inside. They're going to touch doors here in the center 1 and 2, and now can Forbes Forbes, who's in the power position on the outside, hold off the 4 machine, but he's going to have to side draft down the back straightaway. But here comes the 27. Who's he going to help? I think he's going to go to 11 as buddy.
They're going to stick with the Alliance tracks for a while, and also mentoring to the 27. There has been a lot of lessons learned for Jared Talmadge, and maybe there's one more lesson to watch this 11 machine. Well, the rookie of Alan Elwood, who came in with the knowledge of he could be a threat for the championship, and he's been a threat. He won back at Pocono, but Jared Talmadge isn't waiting. He wants a chance. 2 to go. Down to the inside. Talmadge pokes the nose for the lead. The huge slide job pass. Forbes makes it for second, but it's Talmadge 2 for 1 off the exit of turn 2.
But it's the cross. The 11 did the big move. He backs out of it, lets him do it. But the 27's in the power spot, and he's going to have to push from the 4 from behind. Did Jared Talmadge pull up the perfect ace move here? Because into 3, the 11's trying to clear. He's going to clear for the moment, but will it set up an exit run?
Vincent Soar, Thomas Green, they'll bicker back and forth for 4th place, but off the exit of turn number 4, we look up to the flag stand. It's your gridless graphics white flag being thrown for John Forbes. He wants to get back into victory lane, have another chance. Ty is the most winningest driver this season, but he's got some competition. Talmadge to the inside. It's Alan Elwood, needs a huge run to get back into the mix, and it's so far John Forbes all on his lonesome.
He knows what he sees in the mirror because Elwood's going to go to the inside of the 27. Forbes just needs a clean entry here in the 3.
Dive bomb move by the 4, but it's the pass for second. It's not for the lead. Forbes can drive it up, keep his foot in the throttle, and looks up to the flag stand.
He's not going to have enough for him.
White, he'll take the checkered. John Forbes wins again for going to be the Rubble 200 at Auto Club.
What a job by him. Jared Talmadge, another second place finish for him. Alan Elwood, the fight was strong from him in the 4. He brings him a 3rd. And Vince Sora rounded out the 4th. And then
I'll take my
So what a dog fight there coming down to the end. That was excellent.
18. Okay,
it
that's
certainly
well done,
was
mate.
in trouble happening further
Right.
back. Cody Reed was fighting for everything he could to get inside of the top 10. Not able to do so. He will fall from a 12th position all the way back to 22nd.
Disappointing results, to say the least.
4. Tough spot for himself, but John Forbes in the 11 machine. What a
this
charge.
league is just so tough,
and he
man.
defends the
Saying you can win
relentless
every
battle that was
week is
happening from the
frustrating.
start of the race. John Forbes, congratulations on another win this season.
Well, appreciate y'all tuning in.
I mean, Zach,
we're
no
18th
surprise, John
place.
Forbes
I'm
could have
sure.
won this race. He won it back last season in dramatic fashion.
All right,
he
later,
does
man.
it once
Yeah.
again here at Auto Club.
I'm gonna hop off too later.
Later, guys.
Getting it done out here in Auto Club. So you gotta love what you see from the 3-time champion. And joining Vincent Sora too, as I believe the other
no cautions
2-time
this whole
winner this
race.
season. So really getting the ball rolling the right way for this 11 machine. I'm
18th
sure he's gonna be
place.
excited about this one.
Front left.
At one
Not a great
moment,
finish,
off-season
but
was thought of just going
67%.
part-time
That's what it
for
is.
season 8. Well, why not make it a 4-time
82%.
champ? John Forbes wins
Next
his
race
second time this
is probably some
season.
other track we'll
The
finish
11's
18th
going to
at,
enjoy
but
this one
Las
as he
Vegas,
burns it
so yeah,
down.
probably.
We will step
And
aside
then
when we
the
come back.
All-Star
It's the
race,
post-race
which
show.
probably
We'll
not
talk
gonna
to
make
John
because
Forbes,
it's
Jared
top
Talmadge,
10 this
Alan
season
Elwood,
or
the
one
spotlight
couple
driver.
seasons, so
Right after this, we'll be back in just a few
whatever.
moments.
But yeah, Las Vegas is the next race. Just kind of just been a little dejected. It's just been a tough stretch these last few weeks. But appreciate y'all tuning in as always. And we'll catch you guys